Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the High Speeds live class. I don't see anybody in class yet, but I will go ahead and get started and mute everyone now. And then after class, I'll unmute and answer any questions if we have anybody in the live class. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. Here we go. Oh, Donna just joined us. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. All right. I went ahead and muted everyone. So we'll get started with some words. Here we go. Ready? Pack, daughter, serious, girlfriend, mad, somehow, buy, sent, tight, simply, trust, imagine, wind, chuckle, bar, pink, shove, ball, sight, drag, vade, human, truth, share, area, concern, shouldn't, team, escape, mumble, often, search, apparently, attempt, sun, within, band, cute, lead, memory, anger, fly, paint, bottle, busy, comment, exclaim, avoid, grow, gray, mirror, gasp, hallway, deer, star, sick, cat, counter, interrupt, none, blink, spend, usual, worse. And you probably already know this, but interrupt is T-R-U-P-T. Trupt. All right. Move on to some names and addresses. Here we go. Ready? Ms. Michelle R. Smith, SMITH, 12831 West Greenfield Avenue, Grand Lodge, Michigan, 48837. Mr. A. Wayne Thompson III, Rutledge College, 1700 Laurel Street, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. Mr. Jack L. Thomas, THOMAS, 461 Violet Avenue, Hyde Park, New York, 12538. Mrs. Myra A. Thatchenberg, THACHTENBERG, Newton North High School, 360 Lowell Avenue, Newtonville, Massachusetts, 02160. Mr. Douglas P. Ames, AMES, 100 Park Lane Circle, Lockport, New York, 14094. Ms. Keisha C. Jones, JONES, 3522 Sterling Avenue, Flint, Mississippi. Ms. Judy Allen, ALLEN, Trade Winds Rehab Center, P.O. Box 6308, Gary, Indiana 46406. Mrs. Janice L. Dumford, DUMFORD, Glen Estates High School, 4342 Glen Estates, Williamsville, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45245. Ms. Connie B. Lasano, LASINO, 8000 West 7th Street, Unit 5, number 2247, Pine Bluff, Arizona. All right. Moving right into Tangle Tamers. All right, here we go. Ready? Grand larceny, petty misdemeanor, fee simple, alcoholic beverages, quiet enjoyment, implied ratification, emancipatory statutes, physical incapacity, personal indignities, sealed instrument, separation agreement, tangible damage, sovereign immunity, speculative grievance, privileged document, contempt proceedings, riparian rights, unsound mind, or originally vested, judicially declared, prevailing rule, conveyed freely, deeds canceled, unity of possession, legal disabilities, ultimately caused, ancient origin, separately transfer, servient estate, counterfeit money, specific offense, criminal statutes, curriculum, eviety, criminally liable, recognizable interest, felonious intent, resisting arrest, former mistress, forcibly taken. All right. Just date this. All right. Now I've got some frequently used phrases. Here we go. Ready? Yes, sir. Of the, in the, no, sir. Did you, on the, to the, I did, that is, I was, you were, it was, when you, from the, he was, how far, in this, did you see, do you know, that the, they were, I have, you had, in a, was there, I didn't, to see, for the, saw the, where was, did you have, not see, of course, on that, to be, by the, in front, out of the, that is right, there were, he had, in your, she was, when he, when the, did you go, when you, when did, you said, at that time, you, and, at any, having to, and the, I am, and you say, into the, are you, on the sidewalk, saw it, saw him, to get, how long, were you say, that was, I had, I can, with you, was the, was it, there was, you have, I would, have been, what did, I could, that you are, for the, to do, to go, at all, I don't know, you do, what happened, $1,000, do you, I do, at the, there is, before you, not now, with your, do you remember, I think, you mean, about the, with the, at the time, have you, look at, all right, to a, what is, you did, it is that right, when I couldn't, where the, to your, where did, after that, and I, what was, how many, didn't you. All right. I like that. It's one of my favorites. All right, moving right into a phrase drill. I'm going to read this once at 180, again at 200, and then the last at 225. It's going to focus on to be, this is, with you, had you, will be, we will, with us, that the, is it the, we will, is a, to the. All right, first time at 180. And it's like just under a paragraph. All right, here we go. We plan to be waiting in Department 4. This is where we plan to meet with you. Is it the same area where you will be waiting? We will look forward to your meeting with us. I hope that the meeting will be short but informative. Had you given any thought to where we will be staying during our visit? This is our first trip to the area. We heard that the Regency is a first-class hotel. All right, so again at 200. We plan to be waiting in Department 4. This is where we plan to meet with you. Is it the same area where you will be waiting? We will look forward to your meeting with us. I hope that the meeting will be short but informative. Had you given any thought to where we will be staying during our visit? This is our first trip to the area. We heard that the Regency is a first-class hotel. All right, last time at 2:25. We plan to be waiting in Department 4. This is where we plan to meet with you. Is it the same area where you will be waiting? We will look forward to your meeting with us. I hope that the meeting will be short but informative. Had you given any thought to where we will be staying during our visit? This is our first trip to the area. We heard that the Regency is a first-class hotel. And I can do it one more time at 2:50, okay? Let's do that. We plan to be waiting in Department 4. This is where we plan to meet with you. Is it the same area where you will be waiting? We will look forward to your meeting with us. I hope that the meeting will be short but informative. Had you given any thought to where we will be staying during our visit? This is our first trip to the area. We heard that the Regency is a first-class hotel. All right, next drill. Focuses on different families with thing and anybody. Well, let me give you all the words. Everything, something, anything, nothing, everybody, nobody, anybody, somebody, anyone, someone, everyone, no one. And here are your sentences. Is everything all right? Everything is ready for the party. There is something missing from the safe. Do you have something that will stop the bleeding? Is there anything we can do for you? There isn't anything left in the freezer to eat. It seems like nothing ever works. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Everybody has a driver's license. Is everybody in their seats? Nobody at the house answers the telephone. There is nobody to blame but yourself. Is anybody home? Is anybody available to take the deposition? Will somebody please call an ambulance? Somebody left the door open. Is anyone interested in the product? Would anyone be willing to go to the store for me? Someone called the doctor at 5:45 a.m. The teacher asked someone to close the door. Everyone is ready for a vacation. Is everyone capable of completing the assignment? No one is in the meeting room at the present time. All right. Moving into a number drill. And this is going to emphasize on addresses and phone numbers, but it's in a paragraph form. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? The plaintiff, Michelle Martin, lives at 18095 Elmwood in West Hollywood. Her phone number is area code 813-950-0082. The defendant, Ronald Johnson, lives at 78424 Wilson Boulevard in South Bend. His phone number is area code 962-320-1293. The defendant, Kyle Carter, lives at 531 East 1st Street in Marshall Heights. His phone number is 541-728-8225. I'll read that again at 200, okay? Here we go. The plaintiff, Michelle Martin, lives at 18095 Elm Street in West Hollywood. Her phone number is area code 813-950-0082. The defendant, Ronald Johnson, lives at 78424 Wilson Boulevard in South Bend. His phone number is area code 962-320-1293. The defendant, Kyle Carter, lives at 531 East 1st Street in Marshall Heights. His phone number is 541-728-8225. All right, and I'll read that one more time at 225. I know it's challenging. All right, here we go. Ready? The plaintiff, Michelle Martin, lives at 18095 Elm Street in West Hollywood. Her phone number is area code 813-950-0082. The defendant, Ronald Johnson, lives at 78424 Wilson Boulevard in South Bend. His phone number is area code 962-320-1293. The defendant, Kyle Carter, lives at 531 East 1st Street in Marshall Heights. Her phone number is 541-728-8225. All right, consonant compounds. This is going to focus on initial KR, initial PR, and final VD. Here we go. The crew crossed the swollen creek. The crash created a problem. She crunched on the crumpet. The cruiser was crushed. The crepe paper was creased in the middle. Did you play cribbage at Chris's house? We prayed for an end to the pranks. The prefix precedes the noun. President Crowder put pressure on the press. The previous price, levels, were promoted by the store. The prophet provided a proposal. Some prosecutors protested the decision. Amy deserved to be served. He carved the turkey. Al reserved the curved table near the door. Many have lived and loved. The Joneses waved goodbye and moved away last summer. The paved street caved in after the flooding. Nate shaved off his mustache. All right. Moving right along. I brought my car accident words. Let's see here. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, hold on a second. I had it here, and I used these little tabs to hold my spot, and it looks like my little tab came off. Darn it. Hold on. I think it came off when I was doing the common phrase one. Sorry about this. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. Perfect. Scared me. All right. Now, I can give you some that I'll give you some words first that have briefs and just kind of go over those, okay? There's quite a few, along with other ones that don't have a brief or I don't know what the brief is. So let's see. There's driver's license, initial D, final L. Accident, you know that. Driveway, DROY. Seatbelt, S, belt. Street light, STR, final LT. Police car, you know that. Police station. Stoplight, and these are just how I write them. You might have a different way. Stoplight I write as STOLT. Let's see, boulevard, northbound. Now all of the bounds, like northbound, southbound, eastbound, I just do NB, south, or SB, EB. It just kind of keeps it simple, and it's all the same. Vehicle, crosswalk, intersection, NERCs, sidewalks, walk, flashing light, FL, final LT, traffic, hospital, HOPT, officer, passenger, PAEJ, ambulances, Blance. Let's see, control, KROL, police, green light, GLT, yellow light, YLT, red light, RLT, signal, SNAL, damage, eastbound, northbound, southbound, westbound, police department, policeman, policemen, how fast, how far, paramedics, PARMS. If it's just paramedic, it's just PARM. Emergency, I write that as initial M, final J. Automobile, bicycle, BOIC. Black and blue is BLAB. Black and white is BLAT. motorcycle, moik, signal, SNAL, blood alcohol level. I write that as BLEFL, blood alcohol level. There might be different ways, BLEFL. Rear view mirror, initial R, final FM. Point of impact is POIKT, P-O-I-K-T. After the accident, AEX. Before the accident, BEX. Scene of the accident, SNEX, SNEX. Left hand lane. Now I write that as LND. Right hand lane, I read it as RND, but again, I know there's other ways to write it, because then you've got left hand side. I just add the Z for side, LNDZ. Same with right hand side, I write it as R final NDZ. Now pickup truck, I write it as puck, and then if puck came up, I would flag it. Pickup, I read it as pup, and again, if pup came up, I flag that because those come up a lot more often. All right, so those are the ones that I kind of, went out and wrote out because of briefs. The rest of them I either write out or I don't know, I don't have a brief for it. Okay. All right, so let me just state this. Let me see here. All right, so we'll get started. And this is just a whole page of car accident words. Here we go. Ready? Driver's license, accident, driveway, engine, bumpers, street light, brakes, dashboard, turn, police station, paved shoulder, center divider, stoplight, steering wheel, slow, fender, wheel, horn, rear end, seatbelt, police car, passenger's side. I don't think I went over that. I write that as PAEZ. You can also, I also heard people do it as PAEDZ. Impact occurred, boulevard, carburetor, traveling, right side, left side, tracks, front end, left hand lane, right hand lane, siren, northbound, green, fast, traffic collision, California Highway Patrol, red, avenue, yellow, lane, scene of the accident, barrier, middle, driver's side, safety harness, traffic, vehicle, crosswalk, gasoline tank, motor vehicle, motorcycle, flashing light, intersection, witnesses, sidewalk, moment of impact, change lanes, driver, center, curb, driving, railroad crossing, berm, crossing, lane change, signal lights, stop sign. I write that as Stein. Conditions, pedal, hospital, police officer, bots, dots, officer, injuries, ambulance, passenger, left turn pocket, emergency vehicle, ditch, patrolman, pothole, breathalyzer, accident scene investigation, roll-a-tape, whiplash, road, west, blood alcohol level, rear view mirror, black and white, median strip, center lane, swerve, fishtail, north, point of impact, number 1 lane, number 2 lane, number 3 lane, pedestrian, southbound, damage, distance, corner, strain, sprain, doctor, eastbound, fast lane, slow lane, tail light, hurt, red light, on ramp, off ramp, signal, shoulder harness, at the scene, accelerate, stop, curb lane, decelerate, green light, yellow light, curbing, police department, after the accident, before the accident, left-hand side, entered the freeway, exited the freeway, flow of traffic, police, policeman, injured, direction, struck, flow of traffic, how fast, how far, auto, injuries, pickup truck, police report, pickup, miles per hour, miles an hour, south, bruises, control, paramedics, side of the road, east, automobile, bicycle, emergency, right hand side, before the accident, rear end collision, black and blue, gutter, westbound, street, curve. All right. Well, hopefully those were helpful. How are we doing on time? All right. I'll give you one last drill before we start our literary. Okay. This is going to focus on the following words: establish, which is blish, original, mortgage, M-O-R-T, character, K-H-A-R-K. And here are your sentences. Ready? How much is the mortgage payment? My old mortgage payments were high. They are refinancing their mortgages. The mortgages were paid off in August. She earns income from second mortgages. They are mortgaged up to the hilt. We have mortgaged the old house. Have you mortgaged both properties? They are mortgaging their new house. Are you thinking of mortgaging it? Mortgaging your home may not be wise. When will the president establish the rules? We want to establish a new product. Mr. Diamond will establish a new company. I believe it is an established principle. He established that he was not in town. They established the rules at the meeting. If he establishes an alibi, the case will end. The case establishes a precedent. The decision establishes new methods. The defendant is establishing a strong alibi. The company is establishing a new policy. We will be establishing many new contracts. Tony is a member of the establishment. The establishment of guidelines was crucial. Will the establishment of a department help? Establishments like that do not last long. Where are the eating establishments? We are hunting for those establishments. He is very good at playing character roles. Goofy is a character in the cartoon. Can you assess my character with a test? Those two boys are real characters. The typewritten characters are easy to read. Who are the main characters in the play? Is it characteristic of her to cry so much? Mumbling is his least likable characteristic. Covered bridges are characteristic there. He has a long list of good characteristics. Dan has characteristics of a good employee. What characteristics must the players have? I would characterize him as ambitious. Would you characterize her answer as silly? Please characterize the applicant for me. The book characterizes him differently. It characterizes her as a saint. That statement mischaracterizes it. Dave characterized his boss as a miser. I don't like the way I was characterized. The movie characterized the matter poorly. The original question was not answered. I want to order an original and one copy. He does not have one original thought. Where did you put the originals? Are those paintings really originals? The originals have greater depth. That is what originally was said to him. We originally planned it that way. That was originally the idea. All right. Moving right into some literary. And this is a narrative answer. I'm going to read this once at 180, again at 200, and again at 225. Okay. All right, here we go. We had a problem with our rate sheets. They could not cover all the possible jobs. We tried to make them inclusive, but we just could not do it. No one could have done it. We were told what wages to offer for each of the kinds of jobs that we had listed. We tried to think of every possible job where we might have to hire people over the course of a whole year. We were told that our department was to call the bosses and inform them if there were any big changes in the wage rates over the course of a year. Our real problem was in regard to the ship. We had to hire some men from the outside to do the painting. That meant the wages we had to pay were already set by the unions, but they were not consistent with the other rates. It was all a big mess. All right, so we'll go ahead and read that again at 200. We had a problem with our rate sheets. They could not deliver or cover all of the possible jobs. We tried to make them inclusive, but we could not do it. No one could have done it. We were told what wages to offer for each of the kinds of jobs that we had listed. We tried to think of every possible job where we might have to hire people over the course of a whole year. We were told that our department was to call the bosses and inform them if there were any big changes in the wage rates over the course of a year. Our real problem was in regard to the ship. We had to hire some men from the outside to do the painting. That meant the wages we had to pay were already set by the unions, but they were not consistent with the other rates. It was all a big mess. Last time at 225. We had a big problem with our rate sheets. They could not cover all the possible jobs. We tried to make them inclusive, but we just could not do it. No one could have done it. We were told what wages to offer for each of the kinds of jobs that we had listed. We tried to think of everything possible or every possible job where we might have to hire people over the course of a whole year. We were told that our department was to call the bosses and inform them if there were any big changes in the wage rates over the course of a year. Our real problem was in regard to the ship. We had to hire some men from the outside to do the painting. That meant the wages we had to pay were already set by the unions, but they were not consistent with other rates. It was all a big mess. All right. Moving into our straight matter. Let me give you a vocabulary preview. Here we go. We've got, let's see, mega vitamin, documentation, magnesium, disclaimers, congressional, osteoporosis, lethargy, preventative, supplementation, toxicity, absorption, congressional, orthomolecule. There's also Food and Drug Administration, FDA, vitamin, manufacturers, supplements. Let's see, let's say I gave you manufacturers, encouraging, overdoses, regulatory, thiamine, let's see, calcium, iron, phosphorus, iodine, riboflavin, proposal, significant, minerals, vitamin A, vitamin D, recommended daily allowances, known as RDA, minimum daily requirements, MDR, congressional, all right. I think that's about it. I gave you everything. All right, so I'll read this at 180 because it is a little bit more challenging. Okay. All right, here we go. More than 10 years after being battered on the issue, the Food and Drug Administration is again cautiously looking at the question of whether super vitamins should be regulated as drugs. An FDA official said that the agency is encouraging doctors to record their patients' vitamin use and to report overdoses and side effects on the forms they use to report dangerous reactions to drugs. They are looking for clear documentation of toxicity associated with vitamin and mineral use to help with the regulatory process. A trade group representing vitamin manufacturers later said that the group would be strongly supportive of efforts to gather more information about the effects of diet supplements, saying that the figures would bolster their position if they are objectively analyzed. However, fears by some may have been expressed that the FDA was out to prove a predetermined conclusion, since their call for more information was accompanied by disclaimers that not enough was known about long-term effects to take action. In the early 2000s, the FDA issued regulations banning the non-prescription sale of super potent vitamin A and D products because of a potential health risk. The FDA also proposed that vitamins and minerals containing more than 150% of the recommended daily allowance for the substance involved be regulated as drugs. Among a large grab bag of proposals, there were particularly significant factors. One provision stated that the label on all supplements could list only those nutrients recognized by competent authorities as essential and of significance in human nutrition. These included vitamins A, B6, B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, calcium, iron, phosphorus, and iodine. As for other vitamins and minerals that were regarded as essential in the diet, they were considered so plentiful that no implication should be made that they were of any value in the product by listing them with the other 12 approved vitamins and minerals. Another proposal called for minimum and maximum amounts of recognized nutrients to be set out on the label for both children and adults as recommended daily allowances, RDA, instead of the minimum daily requirements, MDR. The FDA gave all interested parties a chance to comment on the proposals, and as a result, they were forced to back off by thousands of complaints from the public, 15 lawsuits, and a special provision passed by Congress. The congressional order required vitamins to be treated as foods rather than drugs unless the agency can prove they are unsafe. The distinction is critical. Drugs are tested for safety and effectiveness before sale is allowed. Foods are regulated only for purity. The congressional order is still in effect, but the results of the physician's reports could be enough to satisfy the requirement for proof. The new look at vitamins was not initiated by the FDA. The agency instead joined an effort by a group of scientists and dietitians who said they were concerned about the growing trend of people taking mega doses of certain vitamins in hopes of preventing or treating illnesses. This approach to vitamin supplementation is best labeled mega vitamin therapy. Another less familiar concept is vitamin therapy. This branch of healing, used primarily by physicians, is rapidly gaining popularity and use and is being presently researched. The word megavitamin means the use of large amounts of vitamins, so large in fact that they bear little reference at all to the quantities normally found in foods. Some megavitamin concepts are preventative and some are curative. The scientific community is concerned with the increasing notion that supplements can be used to prevent serious diseases such as cancer and osteoporosis. The concern is not for the person taking a daily multivitamin tablet that provides recommended daily allowances, nor for people who may have a legitimate need for vitamin supplements, such as pregnant women and the elderly. Instead, the scientists are concerned about normal people taking huge quantities of a single vitamin or mineral in hopes that it will prevent some disease or cure some condition. One example, daily mega doses of vitamin C are used by many to prevent or to cure colds. While many people can tolerate huge doses, many scientists say that others suffer from reduced copper and iron absorption, encourages development of kidney stones and other complications. In some animal tests, huge doses of vitamin C have aggravated tumor growth. Similarly, some scientists say that overdoses of vitamin D can actually cause kidney failure. Overdoses of vitamin E can suppress the thyroid gland. Overdoses of magnesium can cause breathing difficulty and slurred speech. And overdoses of zinc can interfere with the body's absorption of calcium, iron, and copper. Left to chance, uninformed use, or more importantly, overuse of these ingredients may present health hazards. All right. Moving right into jury charge. And the subject here is burden of proof. All right, here we go. I'll read this at 200. Okay. The jury are instructed that if you find Michael Boone, the treasurer, had express authority to sign the notes and payments and effect the loan in question, or if you find that these acts were within the apparent scope of his authority, or within the scope of the authority which he was accustomed to exercise without objection by these defendants, your verdict should be for the plaintiff. But if you find that borrowing this money in the way testified to and giving this paper was not within the authority expressly given to him, or within the apparent scope of the authority which he was accustomed to exercise, then your verdict should be for the defendants. And if you should find that this money borrowed or received for the paper in suit was not for the use of the defendants, and the plaintiff knew or had good cause to know that fact, or if for any other reason the plaintiff did not in good faith trust the credit of the defendants, then your verdict should be for the defendants. You are instructed that to charge a corporation upon the act of an officer or agent, it must be shown directly or presumptively either that the act was performed while in the discharge of his ordinary duty in the usual course of business and was within the general scope and apparent sphere of such duty, or that it was expressly authorized, or that it was performed with the knowledge and implied assent of the directors of the corporation or its authorized officer, or was subsequently ratified by them. In this case, the burden of proof rests upon the defendant. He admits receiving the money, and his defense in this case is that he has repaid the same. It therefore follows that the defendant must prove by the preponderance of the evidence that he has paid the indebtedness which he once owed. If you find from the preponderance of the evidence that the defendant has repaid to the plaintiff the $49,780 which he received from the payment in question, then your verdict will be for the defendant, no cause of action. But if on this question you find that the evidence evenly balanced or preponderating in plaintiff's favor, then you will find a verdict in plaintiff's favor for the amount you find the defendant is owing on the amount of said payment. Under the evidence in this case, it appears that either of said, or all of said check has been paid, or no part of it has been paid. So your verdict will be for the amount of $49,770.80, or a verdict of no cause of action. If you find for the plaintiff is entitled to recover, then you will add interest at 20% from and after April 1st, 2008. If you find the debt has been paid, then your verdict will be a verdict of no cause of action. All right. I've got a Q&A here. It's one page, so it's perfect because I'm going to read this at 180, 200, 225. Okay, let me give you a word list. You're going to hear bail bondsman, discussion, survivor, wallet, TV, Mr. Thomas, and jail, bail. All right. So first time will be at 180, and this is defense. Okay, here we go. Is that a man that's seated here in the courtroom now? Yes. How long did those 3 men remain there at your home? Well, the exact time I really couldn't say, but whatever time that survivor was off the TV is when they left. Was it during the evening? Yes. Before midnight? Yes. Did the 3 men leave together? Yes. Before they left, was there any discussion or talk going on about any particular thing that evening? Yes. They were supposed to go and see a bail bondsman to get my oldest son out of jail on bail. Is that the reason that they left, as far as you could tell? Yes. Now, did your husband have a wallet that evening? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket that you could see? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket in the presence or in the place where Mr. Thomas was at that time? Yes. Was that in your home? Yes. And for what purpose did your husband take his wallet out of his pocket and in front of Mr. Thomas, looking for his bail bondsman's card? Was there money in the wallet? Yes. Was that visible? Yes. All right, so again at 200. Is that a man that's seated here in the courtroom now? Yes. How long did those 3 men remain there at your home? Well, the exact time I really couldn't say, but whatever time that survivor was off the TV is when they left. Was it during the evening? Yes. Before midnight? Yes. Did the 3 men leave together? Yes. Before they left, was there any discussion or talk going on about any particular thing that evening? Yes. They were supposed to go and see a bail bondsman to get my oldest son out of jail on bail. Is that the reason that they left, as far as you could tell? Yes. Now, did your husband have a wallet that evening? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket that you could see? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket in the presence or in the place where Mr. Thomas was at that time? Yes. Was that in your home? Yes. And for what purpose did your husband take his wallet out of his pocket in front of Mr. Thomas, looking for his bail bondsman's card? Was there any money in the wallet? Yes. Was that visible? Yes. All right, so last time at 225. Is that a man that's seated here in the courtroom now? Yes. How long did those 3 men remain there at your home? Well, the exact time I really couldn't say, but whatever time that survivor was off the TV is when they left. Was it during the evening? Yes. Before midnight? Yes. Did the 3 men leave together? Yes. Before they left, was there any discussion or talk going on about any particular thing that evening? Yes. They were supposed to go and see a bail bondsman to get my oldest son out of jail on bond. Or excuse me, they were supposed to go see a bail bondsman to get my oldest son out of jail on bail. Is that the reason that they left, as far as you could tell? Yes. Now, did your husband have a wallet that evening? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket that you could see? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket in the presence or in the place where Mr. Thomas was at that time? Yes. Was that in your home? Yes. And for what purpose did your husband take his wallet out of his pocket in front of Mr. Thomas, looking for his bail bondsman's card? Was there any money in the wallet? Yes. Was that visible? Yes. All right. Now my next Q&A will be plaintiff questioning. And it actually starts though with the court. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start this at, I'll start this at 180, but work my way to 225. Okay. So you're going to hear technique, nervousness, criminal involvement, physical behavior, scuba diving, Mr. Clausen, investigative technique, Miss Pearson, Rodney, suspicion, Lieutenant Johnson, suspicion focus. Yeah, suspicion focus. I gave you Pearson, subsequent investigation. All right, so again, this will start with the court. Does the training technique which you have learned and the experience that you have had indicate the methods and the ways to control nervousness in people you are interrogating? We tried to put them at ease. Just what was it in the defense attitude that led you to question her further in relation to the possible criminal involvement which you describe? I don't recall anything in her attitude, sir. Her physical behavior tipped me off. I think that she was possibly or probably concealing something. She became nervous. Yes. Visibly so? Yes, sir. Okay, your witness, Mr. Clausen. Thank you. Isn't that when you started talking to her about scuba diving? No, I think we talked about scuba diving prior to that. I'm not sure, but I think we did. Would that be another investigative technique in the interrogation to put someone at ease? Yes, sir. That is a technique. And you are skilled at it, are you not? I try to be. Your thought changed during the first visit somehow or other? That's true. Suspicion at that time focused on Miss Pearson in your mind? It didn't change to Miss Pearson. For the time being, it shifted to her. It didn't eliminate Rodney, in my opinion, but it brought another person into the investigation. You didn't know about that other person before you went out there, did you? No, I didn't. You had no time to check on that other person, had you? I was informed based on the report that it was Rodney. When you went back to the office, was not the purpose of returning to your office to investigate Miss Pearson immediately? Yes, that was the only purpose. No, it was to discuss the results of the investigation with my supervisor and to verify the information that she had given me about herself and about Mr. Rodney. Did you make out a report of the incident on your way back to the office? What incident? Of your first meeting with Miss Pearson? Not at that time, no, sir. When did you make that report out? I think that was my first report. It was dated on the 16th of April, which covers the initial interview and subsequent interviews. I thought you said something about the fact that you had immediately recorded the conversation, that you had so that you would have had an accurate record. I took notes during my interview with Miss Pearson, yes, but as far as a report, no. At what time during the first visit did your suspicion focus directly on Miss Pearson? Well, it focused on her for the first time when she admitted that it was she and Rodney that had actually forged the check. She told you that? Yes, she did. I was surprised. Up to that time, based on the telephone conversation with Lieutenant Johnson, I was led to believe that it was, in fact, Rodney who had forged the check. But she admitted that she had done it. That is what she informed me. Does it happen often that your suspicions change drastically? No, actually, it is rather unusual, sir. Well, your suspicions were considerably different from what they had been. Oh, sure. After she admitted forging the check, my thinking certainly changed. How much weight do you give to a person's manner when he tells you something? Actually, I give it quite a lot of weight. All right. How are we doing on time? Okay. Go ahead and jump in to this transcript. We may finish this today. I'm not quite sure, but this is going to be defense, and I'll read this at 2:25, okay? All right. This is the divorce case that we've been working on. How much have you paid her over the last 2 years on the jacuzzi? It's sporadic. It's anywhere from $250 a month to $300, depending on what I have and what I can do for that month. It's just the average is $250 a month. That's what the payment schedule is set up to be. Okay, how do you pay her? By cash or by check? Depending on her circumstances, most of the time it's cash because she's retired and she lives in her motorhome and she needs her grocery money. And I would give her the cash so that she doesn't have to hit a Versateller machine or leave one at her park. Now, have you had any conversations with Mr. Netter regarding the jacuzzi and the gazebo? Just since the divorce, you mean, back and forth? Yes, yes. And did he ever acknowledge the fact that this was your own piece of property? At one point, he was going to let me have it, that it was my separate property and I could retain the bill to go with it. Yes. And did he then, subsequent to that, change his mind about you having it? Yes, he did. And did he explain to you why he was changing his mind? Well, it was one of the only few assets that were sellable, and he could make some quick cash on it to have the money to pay for his bills and things like that. Okay, no further questions of this witness, Your Honor, at this point. Mr. Anderson, not on this issue, Your Honor. Well, just a few. Total, how much have you paid back? I don't know. My mother has the records. I don't keep track of it. Is there any written contract that you were supposed to pay this back? No. Well, it was family. It was verbal? Yes. Did she write a check out? Yes, she wrote a check out. Did it have gift on it? I don't know. Did the check have loan on it? I don't know. She has the check in front of her, or I believe Marla has a copy of the check. Have some of the payments that you've been credited for on this alleged loan been, I don't know how to say it other than in lieu of gifts? Say that it was your, well, oh yeah, like in September, she would waive the $250 payment for my birthday. That was my birthday present. Was there any interest on this loan? Not to my knowledge, no. Did your mom live with the two of you for a while? For a couple of months, it was kind of an exchange. We lived with her for 5 months while our mobile home was being built. Okay, and did you ever loan her any money? No. Your mother? No. You never gave her any money at all? Well, I would give her money. We had borrowed periodically for over a period of time, and I would repay her. Did you ever give her $3,000? I'm sorry, $3,300? Probably as a repayment of a loan. On what loan? Well, at the time when we were selling our first home, we had to pay off certain debts in order to qualify for the second home, and she had loaned us the money to do this. And when our home closed, we paid her back. No further questions on this or with this witness, Your Honor. Thank you. Anything further with this witness, counsel? Yes, we do have another, Your Honor. Anything further with this witness? No, Your Honor. You may step down. Thank you. The next witness, please. Yes, we will call the witnesses outside. Arlene Laurenball. Okay, do you solemnly swear before the testimony you shall now give in the matter before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Would you please be seated if you would? Please state your full name for the record. My name is Arlene Laurenball. And can you please spell your last name, please? Yes, L-O-R-E-L-B-A-U-G-H. Thank you. You may inquire, counsel. Go ahead. Thank you. Good morning. Now, you're Cindy Netter's mother. Is that correct? That is correct. And do you recall ever purchasing a jacuzzi, a gazebo, and a bar for Cindy? Yes, it was a transaction that was to be a loan. She needed it for her back. She has scoliosis, 3 severe curvatures of the spine, and is in pain from it constantly. And the doctor had recommended that this might be helpful. Do you recall when you made this purchase? Oh, it was in September or October of 2009. And do you recall how you purchased that jacuzzi and gazebo? Yes, I gave Cindy a check, my personal check, with the amount that they wanted for delivery. They wanted a certified check, and my checking account is with the Orange County Teachers Federal Credit Union. It would have necessitated a trip to Orange County to go get. So I gave her one of my checks so that she could go to her bank and purchase the certified check. And did you make any other purchases related to the jacuzzi? Yes, I did. Okay, did you make any purchase regarding the electrical installation of the jacuzzi? Yes, I did. And did you pay that money also to Cindy? I don't remember if I did or not. My checks would say. Okay, and is there anything else that you recall paying in regards to the jacuzzi? I paid for the delivery, and at the time of the delivery, they had mentioned that there were cushions that went to the bar stools and also a cover for the gazebo for bad weather, so I also purchased that. Okay, now have you kept a record of the amounts that you've paid out of this jacuzzi? Yes. And has Cindy been making payments towards the amount? There have been payments made, yes, not always regularly. She hasn't always been able to. And did you have some kind of a written note from her for payment of this amount? No, I did not feel with family that that was necessary. There's no interest charged on the loan. Nothing further. Okay, I'm going to have you take a look at the document that I would like to mark as Exhibit A. Is this the receipt for the spa? I would assume the purchase price of what was left of the spa was $8,800, and that's what she gave us to buy the spa. And when did she give you the money? Oh, that was probably it was actually October 2009, just before you got delivery. Yes. Did she ever explain to you that she expected repayment on that? No, she did not. There is no written notice or anything, no note, anything like that. No, there is no written note. Nothing further at this time, Your Honor. Anything further of this witness? Yes. Now, isn't it true that you had to wait that long to get the jacuzzi because you had to wait until the condominium sold? And that is true. And isn't it true that she told you that this jacuzzi was for Cindy specifically, and that if anything happened in this marriage, it would be Cindy's? To answer both of your questions, no, she did not say that. And as to the marriage issue, our marriage wasn't on the rocks or anything. I don't recall that circumstance, no. Did Mrs. Netter, I'm sorry, did she ever tell you that this was a gift to you, Mr. Netter, specifically? Yes, not to me. I have no further questions of this witness at this time. Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. You can step down. All right, what issues are you having concerning the division of property? Well, it's the characterization of the property, Your Honor. I may have misspoke. Among the list of items that petitioner has provided are numerous items of separate property, and it's that issue that we are trying to get to. Your Honor, if I may, we've made some changes and requested changes in our request in our trial brief. The reason that it is being that Mrs. Netter spoke with Mr. Netter this week and basically said, hey, it doesn't matter. I'm filing bankruptcy anyway. So we're now forced to posture a little bit differently. I object, Your Honor. I really object to counsel testifying here regarding statements by my client. That's not true. She never said that, and I think it's inappropriate to be saying that. Are you contemplating bankruptcy, Mrs. Netter? I just simply stated that he would be driving me into it if we couldn't get this settled. What are your folks fighting about now? What is the problem? What is the bottom line? Well, the bottom line is, in our trial brief, we said, we sat here at the MSC and agreed on certain items that's listed in the trial brief that you have there under one set. And there were some other issues that we had a difference as to character value, possessions, things like that. In the document that I have here, I've marked it 23A and 23B, and I believe counsel got a copy. I've tried to resolve those issues by basically saying, hey, if she says it's her separate property, we'll give it to her because we're talking negative here anyway, and you can't afford to spend any more money going through 2 hours on these little issues. So I don't know if the court wants me to present that. Have you seen that list? I have not had a chance to go over it, Your Honor. I submitted my list with the trial brief. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you both a little direction. I suggest you sit down and you work this out right now. Quit acting like kids. If not, I'm going to appoint a referee and order both of these people to advance $1,000 for a referee to take and make factual findings regarding these small items of property. I'll give this case enough time. Now, let's get on with resolving the issue here. Do you folks want to come back? Do you want to retain a referee? No, sir. No, Your Honor. Then sit down and work these small issues out like adults. Your Honor, if I might add something, we sent a settlement proposal to counsel. I don't want to hear about that. Act like adults. I want you to step out and work this out right now. Okay? Thank you. All the other issues are submitted. Oh, sounds like the court's had enough of that. Let's see. Oh, pretty funny, huh?
I love judges.
And I have to tell you, toward the end here, I made it flow, but you still, I don't know if you realized it, but it was, the mom was on the stand, but I used some of the pages after that for Tess.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had it flow, but if you really caught it, it was like, wait a minute, that's Mr. Netter again.
Right. Yeah, I did. I was like, hey, who's talking?
Yeah. It's just because I pulled out a couple of pages for some tests.
That's cool.
But yeah, so, well, so how did you do?
Good. Actually, It's so funny, 225, although I'm sure if I went through and read it now, I'd be like, oh, there's always mistakes, but I can read it.
Good.
And it's almost like, yeah, that speed is coming to me more easily than the slower speeds almost. Like I just relax and write rather than concentrating so hard.
Right. That's awesome. That's a great place to be at, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully it all just settle down. I bought my tickets for my flight on Monday for Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I've been awake at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning every night since. And just like, I wake up and I can't go back to sleep.
Oh, no.
Freaking myself out.
No, just you are so prepared. You really are.
I know I am. I know my schooling and everything has been exactly what it should be. I just have to not freak myself out.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
I wake up, I'm like, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning again. I'm awake till like 6. Terrible.
I know. Because then you're probably asking yourself, do I just get up or do I lay here? Or, yeah.
Like, you practice some more at 3 in the morning.
Your family's probably going, what are you doing?
Oh, it's terrible.
I remember when Bob Sullivan came to the school and spoke, and I couldn't believe, this was like probably 3 or 4 years ago, but he is so funny. He was talking about how he used to tell like students like, hey, if you're nervous, then you just go out to your car and take a shot. And I could not believe he was even saying that, but oh, it was so funny. He's all, whatever you have to do to calm down. And I had like a visual of all these people just so relaxed because they had taken a shot. I couldn't believe it. Here that was one of the readers and he's telling people that. So,
he said at the conference, he said, don't take your spouse with you. They cannot help you.
Yeah. I think he's big on that. And I remember him saying that. I didn't take mine either.
Yeah.
So. But I remember him saying that when he came to the school, like, don't take your spouse. It's one more thing that you have to worry about entertaining or
right. Making them feel okay.
Yeah. Are you going by yourself?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. My husband and I were going to drive and just take a couple days and drive, but we changed our minds. I'm like, I'm just going to fly out the day before.
Good.
Do it. Try to be an adult and do it.
Yeah, that's good. Then you don't have to worry about car issues or car accidents or
exactly
whatever could happen, Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to be stranded somewhere on the 4 hours out of anywhere.
No, you just never know what could happen. That's good. That's a good idea. Yeah. You can just check your machine on and I'm so excited for you.
Oh, it's exciting.
And what day is the actual test?
It's the 1st.
Okay.
Friday the 1st. I'm going to fly in Thursday afternoon and fly out Saturday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
I just realized I was in my mind, like packing my bag. I'm like, wait, I haven't taken my dictionary. I've got to take my whole big dictionary with all my notes.
Yes.
I'm going to check it in.
Yes. Yep. Right already. Yes. Take that list and kind of look it over before you leave so you don't forget anything. And
yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh man, Jill, I just want to. Okay, it's gonna be okay. If I gotta take it again, it's gonna be okay.
That's right. That's right. Just remember that. Yeah. Thank God that you don't have to wait 6 months. Right. It's not that bad now. So
next time it'll be in LA, so it'll be so big of a deal.
Yep. That's right.
This time.
That's right. You're gonna go in there and just remember just to relax. Like. I remember one of my instructors saying, you already know how to write that speed. So just go in there and just pretend like it's just you're just practicing, Yeah. I like that they give practice before the day of the test. So you can kind of go in.
They do that the night before?
Mm-hmm. They do.
Okay. I really want to do that.
Yes. Yep. It'll be like different instructors from other schools will be in there reading. And it's just, I don't know, it kind of gives you a feeling of the atmosphere, like what, I don't know. It's nice. I really recommend that. Some people don't.
I know I can do it. Like 200 is not, it's fine. If I were sitting in the courtroom just shadowing, I'd be completely fine.
Yes.
Not a problem in the world. It's just the environment.
And just remember too, it might seem really slow. I remember it kind of throwing me off like, whoa, like when they said, I don't know, it was almost like, oh, I remember thinking, do I write Y-O-N or do I write I don't know? Because it's so slow. So don't let that throw you off, I
actually do feel that way. I'm like, wait, I didn't brief half the things I normally brief because it didn't fly by fast enough.
Yeah.
For me to brief it.
Which is good. That's awesome.
Oh, just keep your cool.
That's right. Find a focal point and just focus, Yeah. So Yep.
It won't be the end of the world. It's all gonna be fine.
Yep, that's right. And if you misstroke a word, just tell yourself, I'm okay. Like I'm gonna still be able to read it, you know?
Exactly. I can read it. If it's messy and my mess, I can read it.
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I meant to say.
Yep. It's not a real time test. So as long as you can read it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, like the last thing we read, I was like jacuzzi, and what was the other word? Like gazebo. I'm like, whatever.
Gazebo.
Gas and gas or whatever, you
Yep.
know. If it's a mess, I know it's gazebo.
That's right. That is right. That is so true.
Yeah.
So, yep. That's
Whatever.
right. So I'm so excited for you. Yay.
All right.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for attending live, and have a great day and a nice weekend. And then I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See you then.
All right. Bye, Donna.
Bye.
Bye.